Now I'm going to turn it over to Patrick.
Thanks, Shirley.
Woo.
So thanks everybody for being here. We got a lot of folks who are, community allies. The AFL is here, Sister Fire's here, folks from various other community groups, and I'll circle back to them. We have a few speakers to support our effort here today, but I just want to start out with it's always the right time to do the right thing. So this didn't happen overnight. This whole degradation in terms of what we deliver to nursing home residents and how we pay CNAs and other caregivers in nursing homes, but it's been a slow burn and it's been going in the wrong direction, and now's the time to go in the right direction, to lift standards, to lift wages, to raise the bar, as Shirley said. So I just want to share a few things. We're the only state in New England that doesn't require a minimum number of hours. The only state. That means everybody else in New England is doing something. We're an outsider. We're an outlier. We need to fix that. As Shirley alluded to, people come to our nursing homes in the state after a long life, and sometimes they outlive most of their family, or they're disconnected in some other way from their family, and we're their family. We're the people that step in and fill that need, which is extremely important for their overall health, but obviously mental health and their social well-being. We take on that role. We do that because that's the right thing to do, and we want to do that, but we don't want to be put in a situation where we're constantly being pulled in so many different directions that we feel we can't meet our own standards to do right by our patients. And that's the dilemma that policy and employers and lack of legislation in this area has created for all of our folks who deliver care on a daily basis. There's a lot of data out there, but it's pretty clear if the staffing levels are not right, there's more falls, there's more injuries to staff, there's more injuries to the residents themselves. That's got to get turned around. Most importantly, why we need to act now is that there's a long-term demographic piece that's happening here. Right, by 2030, we'll see an increase of 1,000 residents in Rhode Island that are over age 65. Many of us, thank God, have good health well into our 60s and 70s. Not everybody does, but all of us at some point are going to need institutional care in a nursing home when we get into our late 70s and 80s. And that group is going to grow exponentially over the next couple of years. So we need to fix this problem now, because if we don't, we're going to experience a shortage and a disconnect between the number of caregivers and the number of residents that need care. And there's a lot of strategies to deal with that, but the main thing that has to happen here is that when people get to a nursing home, older, poorer, and with more challenges with their activities of daily living, we need to be there to make their last couple of years quality of life and maintain the dignity of each nursing home resident. If we don't do that, we're going to set up a situation where where not enough nursing home beds to take care of the residents that as they age out into their 7th and 8th decade. That's something that we know. That's an age wave that's going to happen. We need to move now to address it. The other piece is that if we don't address the working conditions, people will and can find other employment opportunities, right? Wages have not kept up. This is very important, very, very valuable work, but it's underpaid and undervalued because it's primarily women and people of color. And that needs to change. And we can't have a constant revolving door. People want to do this work, but they also got to take care of their own family, and they need to get a living wage to do that. The state pays for most of nursing home care, so the state taxpayer and the state leaders have a vested interest in getting this right. Because when people get to a nursing home, they're usually out of resources, and the state picks up the majority of it. It's probably 80% in almost every single nursing home in the state. And then lastly, this needs to be a legislative fix, because if we don't set a floor and raise the bar, as our coalition has decided to name itself, then we allow people who are operating nursing homes to go to the least common denominator. We need to set a floor so that owners and operators that want to do the right thing don't get put at a competitive disadvantage by people who are unscrupulous and want to push more work on fewer people and shortchange residents, and actually shortchange the people who are paying, which is all of us here in Rhode Island who contribute every day to making this a wonderful community. So I want to thank Shirley for her leadership on this issue. I want to thank all my other brothers and sisters in 1199 and all my community allies for being here, because this is, as I said at the beginning, this is the right time to do the right thing. And we're going to go forward from here, making sure that nobody has any inkling that this issue is going to be ignored from this point forward, because it's not going to be. It's going to be at the facilities, it's going to be at the State House, it's going to be at the ballot box, it's going to be everywhere that we need it to be to move our agenda forward, to win for our residents and for our nursing home caregivers. Thank you very much. I want to give a shout out to a few other folks that are here. George is here from the AFL-CIO. He goes way back with nursing home organizing. I want to thank him for being here. I think Fuerza's here. I thank Raul for being with us. Sister Fire's here. I think we're going to hear from them in a second. We have folks here from the Rhode Island Organizing Project who've been a great partner on trying to improve the long-term care system overall and build options for seniors. So I want to thank Marjorie and Ray for being here.